Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about The Matrix. When The Matrix first premiered, it made a huge impact. This was due not only to its storyline, but also because it was the first movie to use effects like bullet time. Therefore, we can say that The Matrix was a milestone. But before we dive into the film itself, let's take a look at the challenges faced during the making of the first movie. The Wachowski brothers went to Warner Brothers to pitch their dream project, The Matrix, which they had envisioned for years. During the meeting, they said, "We want to make The Matrix." Warner Brothers asked, "What's your budget estimate?" The Wachowskis responded, $80 million. However, when Warner Brothers executives asked if they had made a movie before, the brothers said, no. Warner Brothers suggested they make another movie first with a smaller budget, so they were given $10 million. With this budget, the Wachowskis made a film called Bound, which went on to win several awards. After their success, they returned to Warner Brothers for The Matrix and again requested $80 million. However, Warner Brothers only gave them $10 million again. With this money, the Wachowskis shot the first 10 minutes of the film, spending the entire budget in the process. After seeing the first 10 minutes, Warner Brothers was so impressed that they provided the rest of the budget, allocating a total of $80 million for the film. This allowed the Wachowskis to continue making The Matrix. From this, we can understand that to create timeless masterpieces like The Matrix, it's essential to think outside the box and challenge the status quo. Now, let's get into the content of the film. First of all, the movie creates a strong connection with its viewers because it takes you, quite literally, to another world. The Matrix is a fantasy film that you can't prove isn't real. Is anyone here absolutely sure they're not living in a simulation? People who are deeply impacted by the movie tend to fall into two camps. The first group believes in the inevitable conflict between rapidly advancing technology and humans, leading to a war with robots. The second group thinks that this war has already happened, and that humans are trapped in some kind of simulation. In short, it's a movie that can drive you mad because you can't prove it's not real. The Matrix has affected the minds of many people worldwide. In fact, courts in some countries have ruled that criminals who believed they were living in the Matrix were not mentally competent to stand trial. Creating the Matrix universe took a year. The storyline depicted in the movie is the 14th version of the script written by the Wachowski brothers. During the scriptwriting process, the Wachowskis frequently changed the rules of the universe they were creating, not wanting to proceed until every detail was perfect. For instance, in the early versions of the script, the reason machines imprisoned humans was not to use them as batteries. Instead, the machines decided to observe humans in the simulation to exploit their creativity. However, the Wachowskis thought this concept would be too difficult to convey to a general audience, so they changed it. The Wachowskis are the kind of creators who are willing to make significant changes to their own stories when necessary. In contrast, many screenwriters go to great lengths to keep their original scripts intact. For this reason, the Wachowskis deserve praise. The Matrix is legendary because it takes place in a meticulously crafted fantasy universe. Additionally, The Matrix is a film filled with philosophical and religious themes. The movie questions whether our minds can be controlled and whether the world we see is truly real, making references to classic philosophical concepts like Plato's allegory of the cave. Moreover, the hero's journey and the chosen one motif in the film echo many religious and mythological stories. One of the interesting details the Wachowskis included in The Matrix is the scene where Neo walks down the street in a training simulation. If you look closely, you'll notice that the extras walking on the street are identical twins. This detail is a method the simulation uses to create the illusion of reality. Much like in video games, identical twins are used here as copies of the artificial intelligences that behave like humans in the simulation. This is just one of the many subtle details in the film. Maybe one day we'll make a video covering all these details because it's impossible to fit the vast world of The Matrix into a single video. Another great achievement by the Wachowskis is the countless examples of foreshadowing in the film. Foreshadowing is the technique of hinting at events that will happen later in the story. These clues are often hard to notice without watching the movie a second time. We can't overlook the philosophical ideas behind the film. Concepts like choice and free will are incredibly well explored in The Matrix. For example, the thought experiment by Scottish physicist James Clerk Maxwell, which questions the validity of the second law of thermodynamics, is one of the philosophical themes tackled in the movie. Maxwell's thought experiment can be explained as follows. If there is a being superior to you, then free will cannot exist because as long as the superior being exists, free will is just an illusion. This idea aligns with the Matrix character Merovingian's statement, everything begins with choice. By delving into such philosophical topics, the Wachowskis turned the movie into a legend. That's all for me for now. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe.